Welcome and welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. To those that might be new, we are the Light Renegades. We are a collective of Pleiadian beings, bringing you information from the universes at large through the veils that are truly non-existent at this time. And today's channeling is no exception of that, everyone. Today I'm going to bring forward a fractal of the Sirius star system, Sirius star beings. We did have the 7-7 portal over the weekend, and although I wasn't in conscious awareness of the 7-7 portal, I energetically felt it, everyone. I felt in the most amounts of flow that I felt for a little while on this path, on this journey, I think. And I just felt like I was at one with everything. I was completely loving my life, completely loving all of those in my vicinity around me, and everything just felt like it had, a general glitter and sparkle that I feel like is missing at some points in our life. And as I've told you all before, I feel like I've been working through sections of my life, and I very much felt like I hit a sweet spot of where I was in my 20s, and I was feeling excited for what's to come, but also then a wave of darkness still ensued in that time of my life. But I feel like I was being brought through the romanticism of how I felt in my 20s, and just excited to be feeling a little bit more like an adult, and trying to make my mark here in this world. But this weekend I was taken to being a child and just experiencing everything for the first time. Everything was exciting to me, and I'm quite an excitable being as it stands, but everything just felt new, everything just felt sparkling, and I thought, this is what life should feel like at all times. So I was very grateful to be in that space. And then today, I've just been smack bang in the middle of some trauma. I've been smack bang in the middle of remembering some aspects of my life, where I felt very trodden down on by other people, where I felt very pushed out, isolated. And, we have to just allow for that to be our truth. Sometimes we park trauma on the shelf because there is just too much for us to handle at any given moment. So know that, sometimes we have to just leave some things in the background before we are ready to bring it forward to face it. And I thought, why are Teams of Light bringing me this now? I've just had an amazing weekend. I've had some amazing energies that I've been sat in, and I thought, I have to just trust the timing of it all. And sometimes I'm not entirely sure why things happen the way that they do, but I have to trust that there is a cosmic law as to why everything is happening, and just trusting that everything is working out for my highest good at all times. So if you're in a space of feeling confused, if you're in a space of, feeling negative emotions, please do not shame yourself right now. I feel like that's the worst thing that we can do, is be shaming anything of how we are feeling in this present moment and in this present time, because everything is shifting, nothing is linear. So please remember that as much as you might be feeling in your darkness, you could be feeling in your light the next day, or in an hour's time, in a minute's time. We can allow ourselves to have that room to be peaking and troughing at all times. I think that this expanse there is no one way for this to happen for your own personal growth. So please do not shame yourself looking at others, comparing yourself to others. Stay in your own lane and just trust in the emotions and why and when you are feeling them. You might not understand exactly why, but it's okay. We have to just trust that those that are in control of what is happening, those higher level understandings, our higher selves, have paved this path for us and for our highest good at all times. But I dare say that the Sirius beings will have a little to touch on within this. I wasn't expecting to channel them today. They came in this morning and said we would like to share something with the collective. So I'm excited to bring this forward for you all. So I'm just give me a moment and I'm going to bring them in. Thank you, Light Ones, for giving us a platform to speak. We are very incredibly excited to be with you all today. We hope that you've enjoyed the energies through the 7-7 portal, the Sun conjunction with our own star system. We've been watching many of you for quite some time, and we are excited to bring forward an understanding that we think so many of you will be pleased about. Though this not be something that you haven't heard before, we wish to remind you and to make you aware that we are always watching you. You are never, ever, ever truly alone. We are always by your side, any given moment of the day, any step of the way. So many of you have been asking to understand why everything has happened in your life the way that it has. But we wish to say to you that no matter what has happened in your life, no matter how you feel in the given moment, in this very moment, in this present time, everything will always be and will continue to be working out for your highest good and your highest vibration. We know that this may be troubling to some when you are in the pits of your darkness, when you're in the pits of your confusion. We understand that sometimes things truly do not make sense to you, and that just has to be the way that it is for now. There are some concepts that cannot be fathomed where you find yourself in your 3D and your human existence. And we say 3D loosely. So many of you are living without the constraints of this 3D vibration. So many of you are in your home planet's understandings, in your soul planet's understandings. So many of you are reaching peaks of energy that you have never experienced before, but somewhere you are not believing this to be your truth, which is why it makes you feel like you aren't experiencing these things. Stop denying yourself your truth, your light, your path, your energy, and your expression of self. So many of you are sinking into fear, not truly showing up as whom you know yourself to be, and this is making you feel stagnant. It is fear that is holding you back. You're not allowing for yourself to feel in divine flow. You're not allowing for yourselves to believe that you can do, be, say, have whatever it is that you want. Granted, there will be things, systems, infrastructures falling down around you, but this does not mean that you cannot still enjoy your life. You will find your place. You will work through any challenges together. Please take a look at your personal relationships at this time. There is much that is there for you to work upon and to be healed. So many of you are feeling troubled from the past. Go in now, delve in now, and heal those aspects of self so that you can feel lighter in heart in the present moment. We know so many of you are afraid of being hurt again. So many of you are afraid of feeling tormented again by your own selves. We promise you that times have changed, the energies have shifted, and you are well within your capacities to move forward for your highest vibration at all times. You are using discernment. You are learning to trust your hearts and meld your heart with your minds. And it is beautiful for us to watch each of you grow. All of you decided to be here. You wanted this to be your reality. You asked to be here in a time of such devastating energy, but also a time of such catastrophic and monumental leaps and bounds in the right direction. This is not your first rodeo. This is not your first incarnation. So many of you feel this at your heart center. Keep coming back to what you know in truth, whom you are and why you are here. So many of you have forgotten why exactly you are here, what your life path is, and what it means to be alive at this time. It means to experience it all, the highs, the lows, the middles, the standstills, the stoppage, the blockages, the elation, the ecstasy, the bliss, the trauma, the grief, the happiness, the joy, the flow, the expression, the creation, the divinity. Come back to your heart center at all times. We wish to guide you through an exercise of coming back to self. We ask that you take a few deep breaths with us in the here and now and close down your eyes. Place your hands over your heart center. You can place one hand over the other, depending which hand you wish to lead, the divine feminine, the divine masculine in your heart at this time. You will be naturally guided to place your hands in this position. Tilt your chin down to your chest. And understand that your heart and mind are as one. Your third eye is as one. You are coming to a space of peace. Trust in your knowing. Trust in where you are being guided. Each of you on such an intricate path. Trust in your heart's expression. So many of you are leaving heart behind. It is time to bring your heart with you. It is time to heal your heart. Tune in to the frequencies of our Sirius understanding. Tune into the divine light codes that are willing to be brought forward to you now. We will share a transmission with you. Ma'aisha okukiara tana ite ore kautuye shamoreata ti amora to kuyete ene shikurete ana iete uroto puyataka shene uroto undoiaka arata ieshe ine ukuroto umaya telania na shaku oyete unoruto kupayete akarata. Trusted in your heart's understanding, you are coming into alignment with your highest vibration at all times. Even when your energy dips and wavers, you are finding that fine balance between your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, and you're grounding yourself into the present moment while still accelerating on this path of ascension and expanse. Allow for your eyes to gaze towards your third eye. Tune into this space here and receive this transmission. Shukurieta okwananayata ke eleniata ushokuyete andaturete amayata she eniata ukuroto unguiata akwalete shindi turoto ungu iapa Nanai nanai, tara shakulete indeka ora to umachi she iete, tara nayaka to ushiti inde uroto, nunuria, tarata ireshe inata. We wish that all of you could feel our hearts holding you, our hands holding you. This dear soul was in such elation over this weekend, and it was beautiful to witness her heart open and expand to such capacities. Please know we try and keep you in this vibration at all times, but life happens, situations happen. Your vibration flickers because you need to work through something in order to be truly set free. We know this may feel devastating at times. We know this may feel like you have taken major step backs, but please know any step back is for a major breakthrough. This will be a step-by-step process, dear friends, but we are with you, by your side, in any given moment. The stargates are open for you to walk through at any given time. Just express that you wish for us to be in your energetic field, and we will be with you. This dear soul has been working up the courage to come back to teams of light, but of the galactic sense. There has been much that has been going on within her personal spaces. It has been incredibly challenging for her, but she's starting to understand the benefits of allowing us in her energetic field once again. We will allow for this dear soul to share her experiences with you, and we wish for all of you to know that we are completely on your side. You are never forgotten. You are never alone, although sometimes it may feel like we are not with you. We are. We have to let you feel your feelings, express your emotions so that you can break yourself free. You are a being of such divine light and extreme emotions because that is where you need to be. You are able to express all emotions. Not all beings in the galaxies, universes out wide have this capacity. This is why so many are clamoring over themselves to be here in a physical human vessel right now. You are in divine understanding. You are breaking through understandings that just truly haven't been expressed in this capacity before. You are breaking history. You know no bounds. Your heart, your mind, your soul knows no bounds. Please hold this in heart anytime times feel tricky, anytime times feel like you aren't in your capacities to hold yourself. Please know that you are the most divine. You are the most powerful right now. This is why we are all here helping guide you, because it is time. You are ready to become part of the full galactic forces, and each of us are so here to love and support you. There is so much that there is to be understood moving forward, but please know that we are trying our best to give you as much information as we can. This will not be the last that you hear from us. We'll be back real soon. All galactic teams are stepping forward at this time to make sure that each and every soul out here feels protected and supported. We just cannot show up in the ways that you are perhaps wanting us to, in the ways that you perhaps wish for us to be expressing ourselves to you. But please know there is always a divine purpose to our actions for your highest good at all times. We love you, dear, dear souls. Please hold us in heart and mind and call upon us, any galactic teams, any star constellations at this time that you feel called to, any space in the given times, past or otherwise. You are being guided towards your highest vibration and timeline at all times. We love you, dear souls. Please call upon us if you need us. So much love from us to you. And I'm grateful for this mini message today. I think I really needed to hear it. I think sometimes things happen on our path and it completely knocks us sideways. And, so much has happened in my personal journey in the past 2 years. And it really took a knock of me connecting with galactic teams, specifically my Pleiadian fellow brothers and sisters, because I just truly didn't understand why they let me go through such things on my path. And, I was sat in a lot of pain for a real long time. And I think only now am I able to access certain points of that pain again, to bring it forward to the surface for me to heal it. And, I think that is everyone's truth. We are all healing through something. Those that step forward to help you is an expression of a soul trying to heal itself, trying to expand its own personal self. And gone are the days of, having gurus or having people outside of ourselves that we see as, that have more power than our true inherent selves, or that, there are teachers or beings out there that know so much more than we do. We are all co-working in an experience together, and we're all learning and growing as we go. And I step forward with my expression of what I've been through, the things that I've healed, the things that have helped me heal up until this point thus far, and I share that with you in a hope that it is hitting some souls out there that can gain that information for themselves, and let that be a space that they heal themselves through too. And you are all going through this. We're all here to share with one another. So please know, if your pendulum is swinging, so often you are hitting the highs and the lows at any given moment. It is so that you can share that with someone else. I promise you, someone will be brought onto your path that you know needs to hear that information. It might just be a minute fragment of that understanding, but you will be here to help someone heal themselves because of something that you've been through personally. So please remember that and hold that in truth. If you have nothing else, know that your pain is always with purpose. And this is something that really took me a long time to figure out and understand. I was sat in my victimhood for a really long time, and rightfully so, in some spaces I very much felt like I didn't understand what was happening to me, why it was happening to me, and I felt like I didn't really do anything to warrant such pain that I was feeling. And having the higher perspective now, understanding that I was working through a lot of this negative reptilian orders influence, and holding a bit of that darkness in from humanity, and deciding to transmute it. But so many of you are out here on the exact same path as well. So if you feel like your life has been unjust, allow for that to be your truth and feel it somewhere. So much of my life I was just denying how I truly felt at my core center. And I think somewhere I felt a lot of shame for feeling sad. I felt a lot of shame for feeling like I didn't deserve some things that happened in my life. And I felt like I was constantly, I think just in guilt and in shame somewhere. And now I'm having to see that everything that has been on my path of my expanse has been for my highest purpose. The most amounts of pain that I've been in has been here so that I could break free, and so that I could feel those exact emotions, but just the heightened of that emotion. We are light and dark out here. So as much as we are light, as much as we are darkness. And when I've been in those amounts of darkness, I'm now hitting those exact points of direct white light as well, everyone. So please hold that in truth. And I feel like so many of us are just hitting these walls time and time again. And we think we've had such a breakthrough, and then something else happens that just completely knocks us off our axis. And that is okay. The point that we are breaking through is when we are reaching, our full capacities, and then gaining that access to the bits beyond. We can't just keep bypassing, these sticky emotions. We have to truly feel them. And for a good portion of my life, I was trying to not sink into my emotions because I was told that my emotions were too much. I was told that I was too emotional, and that it wasn't a good space for me to be in. But I now understand that through sitting through my emotions, through sitting through my pain, through sitting through anything that I felt that has been troublesome to me, I'm now allowing myself to access more light. We have to feel our emotions, everyone, in order to be set free. And I've been sitting in spaces with Anna Maria discussing all of this and what it means to be set in our shadow, in our light, etc. And I think we came to maybe a horrifying understanding somewhere today, in this idea of that there will always be times where we are sat in shadow and we are sat in darkness. It can't just be high vibrational at all times. Even through this ascension process, we are still going to have to face, things that aren't of the highest vibration at all times. And that has to just be our truth. We gain better coping mechanisms for where we find ourselves in the acceleration process. But things will feel tricky sometimes. Things will feel difficult. And that has to just be our truth. We cannot be, in a higher vibration at all times, because it just isn't possible. That's not how the laws of universal energy works. And I think some spaces are trying to deny that truth because we fear being in pain, when actually pain just holds the exact amount of beauty that lightness does too. And somewhere I really romanticized my pain, and that took me on a whole different path as well, and a different understanding that wasn't healthy for me either. But somewhere I feel like I'm having to come into balance of just loving whatever I'm experiencing in the present moment, and allowing for that to be my ultimate truth, and accepting myself in those spaces. I no longer shame myself for feeling at the highest vibrational energy that I can when I see others around me perhaps not being in that space, nor do I shame myself for being in a very low vibration when there's others around me that aren't in that space either. I allow myself to just feel how I feel in any given moment, and allow for that to be my truth. So I wish that for all of you out there. Just sit in your truth, in your knowing, and please trust that everything is always working out for your highest good. And I used to hate hearing other people say this when I would watch their videos, when I was in my peak of my darkness and my despair and my complete mental breakdown of my psyche going through my ascension process. But I'm here to remind you and perhaps trigger you into remembering that space. And, I'm grateful that I have souls around me that step forward and that have helped me in this path, when I was terribly disconnected from my teams of light, because I was just angry. I kicked out all of my toys and my prams so many times in this journey. I said, I'm not doing this. I'm going to end this if things don't change soon. I've said it all. I've really been that person. I've been that being to chat back to my teams of light, because I was just frustrated and annoyed at so many aspects of this journey, so many things that didn't go to plan, didn't go on the timeline that I wanted. My ego completely took over, and that's been my truth. And I'm grateful to be slowly teetering back to my teams of light in my personal spaces. I channel a lot and I give other beings information with regards to tapping into their teams of light, but my own personal guides I haven't spoken with for a very long time, because I was just terribly hurt by them, for allowing them for me to be sat in such pain. But I know that that pain has been with purpose, and slowly but surely I've been gaining back the strength to open up my heart's capacities to them, and to allow for, all aspects of myself to come flooding in, the good as well as the negative. And I think somewhere I was just blocking it all out, because I thought, this is going to be too much. I'm not going to be able to face my past. I'm not going to be able to face my emotions, but we do, everyone. So no matter where you find yourself, know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and sometimes that doesn't feel in alignment for where we think we should be, but it is always truly working out for us somewhere. And I hope that you feel the light soon. I hope that you feel the sunshine soon. I hope that you feel in a state of peace. And I think maybe about 2 or 3 years ago on this path, I realized that I wasn't looking for riches. I wasn't looking for, the best place to live. I wasn't looking for sunshine all the time. I was looking for peace. And I can't fault my guides for giving me the capacity to get myself into a space of peace, because things had just been so chaotic for a lot of my life. And now, when I'm sat in my shadow, I sit there and I embrace it. When I'm sat in my light, I sit there and I feel it and I embrace it. I'm not living in the in-between anymore. And that's a space that I was in for a real long time, just rejecting everything, terrified of the light, terrified of the darkness. I was sat in this void of pain and I felt nothing. So I'm grateful to feel the pain and then to reach the peaks of that true elated energy also. And I think that has to be our truth. We don't want to be numb to life. We don't want to be numb of emotion, void of anything. These negative reptilian forces, pump this energy through of just this nothing, just this constant pain. Absorb that pain, take it on. Say, I'm ready to express it. I'm ready to understand it. And let it be transmuted through you. And allow yourself to feel in a state of peace in the most amounts of chaos. And that is your sweet spot, everyone. We are guiding ourselves through the pain, the trauma, the travesty, the tragedy, and allowing for ourselves to feel in a space of peace no matter what is happening around us. That is what we are being trained to do. That is so that we can feel those highest vibrations of light at all times. That is the ascension process, learning to deal with the pain and allowing that to be your truth, and to not shame self in that space, and then coming to a space of light when it's time. And I think a really long time ago, a therapist stepped forward and she said to me, happiness is fleeting and that's okay. And I think somewhere I thought that people were just happy at all times, and I very much didn't know how to get myself into that space. And once I understood that everything is a cycle and we have to go through it all, I think is when I came to a little bit more peace within self. So allow for your expression right now to be your truth, and just be that. Whatever that looks like to you, you're supposed to be there and you're in it for a reason. But I think that's all for me today. Sorry if this has felt like a little rant today, everyone. It's definitely working through a lot energetically and coming to a space of, finding my peace again. But I think that there has been a constant phrase that keeps being brought to my attention from beings that I'm meeting, and they keep saying that I'm really busy. Yes, I am really busy, but also I'm here for this work. This is exactly why I'm here. So please do not hesitate to reach out if you have been thinking you want to be working with us Light Renegades in some capacity for some time, which I think is a lot of you, I'm being told. Please do step forward. Shoot us an email. Shoot me an email personally. How to contact all of us is in the description below. We are here to help support you, and we're also in this together, everyone. So please do watch this space for more spaces that we can all frequent together in community. I do have the Blue Lotus ceremony coming up this 11 understanding, 11th of the July, and where we find ourselves right now. So if that feels aligned to you, it is in the community tab. Please do take a look at that, and you can sign up and you can join us at 6 p.m. UTC time, and to be connecting with the energies of the blue lotus flower and its connections to divine energy, the taboo, shadow, and expression of soul consciousness, everyone. But I think, yeah, that's all from me today. Apologies if this has felt a little bit fragmented. I wasn't expecting to bring forward a video. And yeah, I've just been purging behind the scenes in my own personal spaces, everyone. So, you know, wherever you find yourself, no matter how far along on this path that you think you are, no matter how vibrational you think you are, it's okay to, you know, be in the pits again. It's okay to be figuring through some things again. That doesn't mean you've taken a complete step back. It's just a breaking down to breakthrough is what I like to say often. But yeah, that's all from me today and the Sirius experience. I hope that you enjoyed this channel. Take care. Bye.